Think about it. It is very possible that the reason as to why you find yourself where there is this detour is because God in His goodness is working behind the scenes. He is bringing you to a place where you are prepared to receive His blessings even in your career. Whatever area of life that you are facing this kind of a detour where it does not make sense, I want to challenge you. Think about it. God does not take pleasure in taking you on a detour. That is the last thing on His mind. God never thought, oh, these people of Israel, I don't want them to go to the promised land right now. No, I don't want it for them. They must go through some kind of suffering. They must have a little bit more of suffering. No way, that was not what God ever intended for them, and neither does He ever intend it for you. He may not give you the exact explanation and the reason at that point. Perhaps God did not tell them, look here, I'm taking you through this journey so that you will be prepared. I'm not taking you through the shortcut right now, but I'm taking you so that you will be prepared. We don't know whether God explained all of that, and the chances are that He didn't. And in the same way, He may not have explained everything about what He is doing right now in our lives. But are we able to trust Him and to believe that God is good? That even when I don't seem to be on that path towards that promised land, nevertheless, my God, if He has directed me, I know that He is working out something great. That is the beauty of a detour of God, where He can take it and He is using it so that I am ready to experience every good thing that He has for me. See, the question is, what exactly was this detour? Not only did we see that there was a need for God to take them on a detour simply because they were not prepared to face the Philistines in battle. Therefore, the shortcut was not the most suitable. God had to take them on a detour. But what was significant about this detour? Now, question is, why did God choose this route? Was this route actually better than the shortcut? You know, everything that God does is with a purpose. So if He doesn't take us through the shortcut and there is a detour, that in itself has a purpose. The fact that He chose that particular route also has a purpose. Why is it that God said, we read in verse 18, so God led the people around by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. He led the people by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. So instead of taking them directly along the shortcut, He took them by way of the wilderness along the Red Sea. That is how the journey was. That was the detour. Why? Why did God choose that? Now we understand that eventually when the people of Israel were to enter the promised land, they would have had to face many battles. They had to. As we read later on in the book of Joshua, they had to face many battles when they were entering the promised land. But we also see that not one battle was won because of the strength of their army. Now we saw that the people of Israel, when they left Egypt, they were harnessed for battle. They were well prepared, or it seemed that they were physically prepared. But God knew that they were not actually prepared. Now, every battle that they faced later on when entering the promised land, they had to face it, and they won those victories not because of the strength of their army, but because of who their God was. There was something that God had to do in their lives in order that they were prepared to enter the promised land. In order to make them prepared to receive the blessings of God and to be able to retain it, God had to prepare them. And what was this preparation? As I said, they never won a battle because of their strength. They always won the battles because of the strength of their God. Therefore, God had to reveal to them who He was and who they were in Him. He had to reveal to them who He was and who they were because of Him. That is why this particular detour was so significant. As we saw, He did not take them through the shortcut, instead through the wilderness by the Red Sea. What is significant about a wilderness? A wilderness, now of course, God never intended the people of Israel to remain there for 40 years. It's actually a journey which would have taken a maximum of about 2 years. Yet we will look at it next week. Next week we will be focusing on wilderness wanderings and how we can sometimes prefer to be in the wilderness instead of in the promised land. But today what we're looking at is what was significant about this wilderness experience. A wilderness experience is a place where it's seemingly dry. It is a place where there is nothing, if I may say it that way. There is nothing. And it was in this place that God had to reveal to the people of Israel who He was. He chose to show them His love, His care. He provided for their day-to-day needs. This was a wilderness, it was a desert, it was dry, it was parched. Yet out of nowhere God provided for them water. God gave them manna to eat. It seemed like it was from nowhere. But God loved them. And as I explained, He had to bring the people of Israel to a place where they would know who this God is, so that they can receive the blessing. They had to believe in this God. They had to know His nature, His heart. And therefore, through this season of nothing, through this season where it seemed to make no sense, it was just a wilderness, a dry place, God showed them, look here, I love you. I will take care of your every need. Everything about you is important to me. I will provide for you. I will take care of your every need. And today, if you are facing a wilderness where it is a season of nothing, you have great expectations, you have a promise from the Lord, you are holding on to it, but right now, it is a wilderness. There is nothing that seems to be coming out of it. Absolutely nothing. Have you experienced God in your wilderness? Do you know who your God is? Have you given Him a chance to show you who He is? As we read, it was by way of the wilderness of the Red Sea. Now, what was significant about the Red Sea? We see that after the Israelites had come out of the land of Egypt, they were standing at the Red Sea, and suddenly Pharaoh and the people of Egypt decided, we cannot let these people go. We have to go and capture them back. And therefore, they came behind the Israelites and they wanted to capture the Israelites again. What happened? The people of Israel did not know what to do. All they could do, all they knew is that in front of them was the Red Sea. They had no other place to go. What were they to do? And then God directed them to step out into the Red Sea. That was an absolute challenge. This was the challenge they had to face. But they had to listen to God's voice. God led them to step into the Red Sea, and we all know what happened. The Red Sea parted. The people of Israel were able to cross over onto the other side. And then when the Egyptians came behind them, all of them were drowned in the sea. And God rescued the people of Israel. But what we see is that God showed the people of Israel something significant that day. It was a challenge they faced, and God came through. As we read in Exodus chapter 14 verse 14, it was the Lord who fought for them, and the only thing that they had to do was simply to be still. This was God preparing them. God was preparing them so that later on, when they were to enter the promised land and for all of their battles, what they had to do is simply to heed the voice of the Lord and watch Him fight on their behalf. To be still and to know that He is God. Today, whatever challenge that you are facing, can you be still and let the Lord fight it for you? In Exodus 14 verse 31, we see that after they crossed over onto the other side, we read how the people of Israel they feared the Lord and they put their trust in Him. Because God gave them a revelation of who He was. They feared the Lord and they put their trust in Him. When we are facing these challenges in our lives, understand that God is working on your behalf. God is fighting the battle. Will you be still and let Him take over?